3.T, this is what we need to do. So you need to open your Pages app and open the book file that we've been working on. And in point 3 it says, read pages 22 and 23. So here's my Pages file. I'm going to scroll down and here is page 22. So I'm going to read this page and the next page, all about non-volatile memory. And once I've read that, it says, if you're in the classroom, you'll be put into pairs, and one person will read pages 24 and 25, and the other person will read 25 and 26. But if you're at home, you need to read all the pages 24 to 26 on your own. If you've got enough time left, if you've been given time to read, then you can use the headphones and watch the videos on these pages. Okay, but they're not necessary, the reading will do. So, if you're in pairs, then one person's going to be read this page 24 and then page 25. If you're on your own, working at home, you need to read page 24 and page 25. Whoops. And then if you're in pairs, the second person will read pages 26 and page 27. But if you're at home, you need to read these two as well. Then what you've got to do is, in step 5, if you're in the classroom, we're going to take it in turns to teach your partner all about the pages you've read. But if you're at home, you can skip that step because you've read all of them. And in step 6, it says on page 28, there is a table. Some of the answers have been filled in already. Work with your partner to fill in the gaps, or if you're at home, work on your own to fill in the gaps, and I will give some help online. Be ready to share with the rest of the class. Here's the table on page 28. So there's 2 columns with the hard disk drive and the solid state drive, and on the left hand side are a series of different words and questions. So the hard disk drive, does it have moving parts? Well, yes, it is the one that has moving parts. So in here you're going to write yes, and in here solid state drives, they don't have moving parts, as you've just found out. Now, which one is faster? Is a hard disk drive faster? Or is a solid state drive faster? Right, faster in one of them, slower in the other. Now, the cost has already been filled in. We know that hard disk drive is cheaper, and we know that solid state drive is more expensive. And capacity means how much stuff can we put on there. So basically, you can store about the same amount on each, but it's going to be slightly cheaper to store 1 terabyte of data on a hard disk drive because it's cheaper to buy than it is to store 1 terabyte of data on a solid state drive because they're slightly more expensive to buy. Now, physical size, this means how much space is it going to physically take up in your hand? Is it bigger in your hand and in your computer, or is it smaller? Now, a hard disk drive has got moving parts, so as you'll have read, it requires some space. So is it bigger or smaller than the solid state drive? You fill those in. And vibration resistant. Now, on the Google Classroom post, there is a video at the bottom, so it's not showing up on here, where you can look at, on the next post actually, where you can look at a video about vibration resistance. Now, if something's moving, if you're spinning a plate, do you think it'll get knocked about if you try to bump it? Or think about whether the hard disk drive is vibration resistant or whether the solid state drive is vibration resistant, and fill those in. And the last one is lifespan, which I filled in for you, saying the hard disk drive will last a long time if it's being looked after, but a solid state drive does have a limited number of read-write cycles. Read-write cycles is the number of times that you can read a disk, so find some data on it, and the number of times that you can write some data, save some files to it. It's a really high number, and you wouldn't normally notice it day to day. It doesn't mean like a month later your solid state drive will die. It means years and years, but it does happen eventually. So let's just check back to Google Classroom and check we've done everything. Okay, so once we've filled in page 28 in the table, we just need to take a screenshot of it and upload it to this post. So the screenshot is the home button and the power button on here, and then just upload it to the post to show me that you have completed the table.